Tomm. Tomm is going to be speaking about visionary leadership. And he will be using presentation software, and his speech is for 5 to 7 minutes. Title is Pathway to the Ocean of Knowledge. Just a little bit about Tomm. The Maharaji taught Tomm a way to be an amazing communicator. Though it may seem confusing to some, today we will be experiencing the method that works for amazing communicators and is challenging to most people. Since you are not most people, you certainly can be an amazing communicators. So here is Tomm Hobbs, the man in the hat. Definitely not considered to be most people. Tomm with his speech titled Pathway to the Ocean of Knowledge. With Pathway to the Ocean of Knowledge, let's welcome Tomm.
I believe you can be an amazing communicator. I believe it. Now, it is true. There have been a few times in my life where people, well, they questioned my communication skills, but I've learned, I've reached out. Oh, well, the great Maharaji, Thomas Obscurius. Have you ever allowed your brain to meander? Take different paths, follow like a wild stream. When you do, it will deliver you to the great ocean of knowledge. Yeah, I found it on the internet. It was Facebook. He was really awesome. And, you know, gotta be true. And I practice what he says. And I use it because it matches me. Now, have you ever allowed your brain to really meander? Take different paths and flow? I think if you really understood the process, you could benefit and be an amazing communicator. This might help you with your writing a speech, dealing with PowerPoint. Yeah, I feel sorry for you, but allow that to happen. Might help you with improving your responses in a relationship. Yeah. Understanding how effective your thought process is and how effective their process is the key to really making you an amazing communicator. Now, it's generally known that a straight line is the shortest distance between two known points. Now, I believe, is that necessarily the shortest time between 2 points? Because to find that effective and conclusive path, sometimes you need to, ramble, I say. Take a different path, work your way around. It may not always be the same for everybody, but I think it helps. It works for me in many, many ways, and I think it can help you. Now, I admit, the other day, I was with my sweetie and we were out, driving down the road, and we saw this guy on the side of the road. And she kind of thought, should we stop and ask the guy if he needs a ride? Would that be a good or bad? Then she goes, but he might be an axe murderer and eat us. All right. I wondered how best to respond to eat us. What's the wisest response I should make? It's a relationship response. Now, if I have been accused of being an axe murderer and, really thought about it, why do people think it's so easy to murder an axe? You might break the handle, which is the neck. That would just be the wooden part. That doesn't really change things. It's still a metal wedge with a handle. It's an axe. maybe a shorter handle, might be good for, kids, kid size. But can you really eat it? I don't think so. How about if you're a serial killer? Now, isn't that easier? Serial killer? That would be like, they're easier, they're crunchy. Yeah. Crunchy. If they're old and crotchety, like a Captain, that might be like a Captain Crunch. Yeah. Hey, have you ever had Captain Crunch? You tried to eat that without letting it soak in milk for like 3 weeks? And that stuff, that'll just tear the roof out of your mouth. It'll be like shredded wheat. Your roof is the mouth is just all messed up. And you're gonna need some special medication. Normally get something medical, get something special, maybe some Special K. And of course, if you're dealing with a bunch of flakes, there's a few Fruit Loops around, and you may push your buttons and test your patience a little bit. All right, now I'm thinking, how am I going to respond to her? Okay. If they were charmed, they were blessed, they could be, Lucky Charms. Yeah, that's it. They could be Lucky Charms, but my Irish hat on, and you're magically delicious. Make them magically delicious. That would be a different kind of a nut. God, have you ever worried about having grape nuts? Wouldn't that hurt? Man, most guys know what I'm saying there. Now, if you just left them in the sun, like raisins in the sun, they'd shrivel up and be like Raisin Bran, and then you never know, it could get back to that rabbit, because they are magically delicious. That would be like Kicks. Tricks are for kids. Yes, we said that. Tricks are for kids. Of course, some kids aren't as sweet as others, so you need some extra sugar. So, honeycomb, the bear honeycomb. Oh, man. And of course, if he had that honey nut Cheerios, that bee honey nut, yeah, you could do that. They'd be sweeter. Okay. But if you did let them shrivel up in the sun, like some grapes, California grapes, turn into raisins, that would be like Raisin Bran. But if you're camping and you put them in a skillet, if you really put them in a skillet, that'd be getting crispy. Yeah, like Rice Krispies. Yeah, Rice Krispies. And the next thing you know, stop, crackle, pop. Yeah, it works. But when you're out in the woods, there might be somebody going a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because they're around. And of course, if they're from California, there might be a few flakes around. And if they're frosted, like Tony always said, they're great. But if you're going to ramble that long, at the end, you should always say, as you should, Cheerios, right? Cheerios. All right, I got to answer. I got to think of what am I going to answer? All right. The dude was just walking along the road, carrying a gas can and a rubber chicken and an axe and a bottle of Apple Jacks. Oh my goodness, man. But in reality, in those 12 seconds, I was thinking to respond. My best thought was to just talk to my sweetie and say, it's all about life. And that's just Mikey out there. And he won't eat anything. You're safe. He won't eat you. Well, I believe you and I can both be the master, the mender. We should all learn to meander, master the meander.
Awesome, Tom. That was amazing. And now, our second speaker for tonight is Linda.
Okay, are we going to do facilitation?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. We'll do the facilitation straight away now. So I'll hand it to May, who is going to be our facilitator. And with this, take it away, May. May, are you there? You ready? Yeah, she's here.
I'm here. I apologize.
Okay. Hold on. Are we ready for facilitator? Melanie.
Thanks, Tom, for that speech. I thought it was very clever with all of the puns that you used. I liked how you threw in all the different cereal puns, and I was just trying to follow it. So love the language with the alliteration, the master meander, and the serial killer. And I thought you did perfectly the timing on the PowerPoint to just pop them up just at the right time. I think you maybe made a mistake with introducing the frosted flakes at the Fruit Loop bit. And I'm not sure why, but on my screen, your screen share shows as black on my second monitor. But I really enjoyed that and like to hear it again so I can catch all of the puns. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Melanie. How about Harry?
Me?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I enjoyed your speech, Tom. At points, I did find it a little difficult to follow where your mind and such was meandering. I do feel like you made a very valid point there, and I would have loved to have seen, perhaps as a way to improve it, if you could say the goal of the meandering, make it a little more clear, a little more explicit, that sometimes you really do need to meander before you settle on the correct, the kicker of your punchline or whatever it is you want to make clear. But all in all, great speech. It was very clear you had some great fun with it. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Terry. Fancy?
Well, I agreed with Melanie. I would love to hear this one again because, and especially since I was writing notes and I missed a couple things, I think especially in the cereal part, it would have benefited from some more pause so we could fully grasp what you were saying before you moved on to the next point. Back to you, May.
Thank you, Francine. Cookie. Thank you.
Yes, I think that he used the technology very wisely, having many times people share the PowerPoint, only see the PowerPoint and the speaker in the side, but the speaker is right in front of the presentation, so I can see all his movement and popping out of the serial and speaking about it simultaneously. I think that require a lot of effort and the timing, and he did everything right. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cookie. Are
There
we
was
on
some-
time? Can we have one more? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Vanessa. Oh no. Can you? No. Okay. How about William? Oh, I'm sorry. Vanessa, are you ready?
And Vanessa's a guest, so Vanessa, all we're doing is just a 30-second evaluation of what you couldn't do and what you could improve on.
Okay, thank you. I really enjoyed the speech. And I thought it was a great idea to use the cereal packets, even though I'm not familiar with all of them, but I was familiar with some of them. The Fruit Loops I thought was a good one, and some of the others. Yeah, it was a really good way to present and get the message across about massaging the meandering. I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure about improving at this stage. I don't have a lot of suggestions for improving. Perhaps just slowing down a little bit at times would be my only suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Yay!
I tell you, it was a mother of a PowerPoint to put together. I had to change it several times.
Thank you so much. Back to you.